If you want to show her you love her, an engagement ring is a nice touch. But don't be fooled by cheap imitations like ordinary gold. If you really want to sweep someone off their feet, only platinum will do. It's expensive stuff, worth twice as much per kilo as gold is, so it's kept under lock and key. But because it's also quite rare, workers recycle and reuse it wherever possible. And that's where this box of industrial waste comes in. Contained within this waste is pure platinum, and the brainiacs at this chemical plant are going to separate it out from the other metals. All the debris is put into this enormous glass flask. The glass is important because it resists the chemicals they are about to use. Yes, this is the fun bit of chemistry. Nitric acid and hydrochloric acid are poured in, then the flask is sealed. Over the next 2 days, the metals will dissolve until all you're left with is this acidic black soup. Platinum recovery is like a big experiment, only the scientists know what the outcome is going to be. The next stage is to separate the platinum from the other metals, and that's done with this powder. The powder is added at the top of the flask, and as it filters down, the platinum particles stick to it, leaving the other cheaper metals behind. Slowly, it settles to the bottom, and once the scientists are happy, all the liquid will be drained off, leaving them with a big bucket of sand-like grit. Now, you might have a hard time convincing anyone that this is the most valuable metal in the world, so the grit is then placed into trays and incinerated. At 950 degrees Celsius, everything but the metal is burned off. And when the boffins open up the furnace, what's left looks like asphalt. It's actually platinum, but it's been filled with air bubbles from the furnace. To turn it into the shiny metal that's so sought after for making jewelry, it needs to be reheated in an airtight furnace. This powerful oven can reach 2000 degrees Celsius and can be kept airtight while it does this. The platinum slag is added in, the heat is turned up, and the aerated metal is melted down. The lid is then closed and all the air extracted. Even the Terminator wouldn't survive in here. What emerges has to be the most expensive brick in the world. Just 1 kilo of this precious metal is worth over £20,000. In this form, it would be a bit awkward to wear, so specialists at the factory turn the blocks into tubes. Jewelers can use them to make rings or any other jewelry your girlfriend might want. Slices are cut off the tube in a sealed environment to ensure nothing is lost. And this is what you end up with. Gold and silver are weak, so they're mixed with other metals to strengthen them, but this reduces their value. Platinum is strong enough to be worked alone, which is another reason it's so valuable. Sizing is quite a simple process, but if the customer prefers a thinner style, more metal must be carved away. Using a lathe lubricated with high-quality oil, microfine slivers of the ring are carved away. Again, nothing is wasted, and the jeweler and the computer both keep a very close eye on what's going on. Because it's so rare and your girlfriend isn't going to want any old ring, platinum jewelry is often made to order. Only experts get to work with this precious metal, and they have to know what they're doing. Heat is the most common tool. Melting the metal makes it pliable, but if he keeps the flame on too long, the ring will collapse into an expensive but ugly blob. Another tool that can be used to create a mount for jewels is this saw. Tiny quantities of the ring are carved away to create the setting for the gemstone to fit into it. Now, you could try this with your Black & Decker workmate, but we really wouldn't advise it. Alternatively, smaller stones can be placed into ready-made settings like this one. An electric hammer gently closes the metal around the stone, which will hold it in place. And finally, the ring is polished, ready to be worn. Gold and silver change color as they age, but because of its purity, platinum doesn't. So like the credit card you've always dreamed of, this is platinum, and it's worth twice its weight in gold.